Hello, welcome to my messy kitchen. But look, I'm going to be cooking artichokes later. Probably not in the video. I'm just doing sauce. Okay, where's my, oh, here we go. Okay, just making a simple tomato sauce. Now this recipe, 1, 2, 3, I'm doing 3 tablespoons or so instead of 2. Because I'm using onions, but the basic recipe is, here I have it written down because I have a terrible memory. This much diced tomato or the 26 palm. 2 garlic cloves, I did like 4. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and what do? Yeah. The basic thing is, put the olive oil in, get it hot enough, throw the garlic in just when it gets going, throw the tomato in, and let it cook, and then add fresh basil at the end. And that's it, and it comes out great. And I will put it on my cooking blog, culinaryq.com, but I'm going to do a little different, because I like onions in mine. So, where are my onions? Here we are. I'm going to actually start with onion. I did about 3 tablespoons, or maybe more, of olive oil. Never too much oil or fat. If I can see. I need to get a camera looking down, but I'm just starting. I'm just doing this, winging this right now, so we'll see. Looks like you're tipped. I hope you can see all of me. Well, I guess you don't really need to see me. Here, let's see. You going yet? I'm not wearing an apron. Bad. I have some stuff that gets oil stains out really well, though, so hopefully I won't splatter. I do splatter. Okay, that's sizzling. Throw that in. So I'm jazzing up this recipe. I'm going to saute the onions for a bit, and then I'm going to add other herbs and spices, and then the garlic, and then the tomato right away. But I'm not going to make you watch, because I'm going to actually simmer these pretty low, not quite caramelized, but I find that the slower you cook the onions, the sweeter. So I will be back once I think the onions are done. Back again. Okay, so this has been going about, I don't know, 8 minutes or something. I know I need a better camera. I'm doing these totally off the cuff right now. No plan, nothing. And I'm having a beer. So, no judgment. Anyway, I added mushrooms. I did that off camera. I added about 3 shiitake mushrooms, sans the stem. I'm going to use the stem. I put that in with my stuff for veggie stock. But I chopped up 3 shiitakes because I wanted mushrooms in my sauce. Okay, onions are cooked. So now what I'm going to do is, so in the general recipe is heat the oil, do the garlic like just until it not quite turns brown, and then add the tomatoes. But in the meantime, I did the onions, the mushroom, and now I'm going to add, I love Penzi Italian mix. Yeah, maybe a teaspoon or 2 to start. A little extra basil. Now the recipe calls for adding fresh basil at the end. I have no fresh basil, so I'm adding some dried basil. Probably more than I should. Well, that's all right. I'd say, whoa, let's be careful with this. This is crushed hot pepper. Just a few of those. That's like a pinch. Crushed red pepper. Penzi's Italian seasoning mix. I love all Penzi's things. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what I like your politics, but that's me. Sorry. No judgment what you believe. But, their spices are wonderful, and their herbs, they're just wonderful. They're fresh. They're amazing. They're worth the price. In my book. Anyway. But that's me. And there was something else. Oh, I can't resist. I have to add this smoked garlic salt. That's from BHK, let's see, Barrel Homestead Kitchen from York, Maine. My friend Lisa, who has a place up there, gave this to me because she knows I like to cook. How sweet is that? So I'm going to add some. Oh, a trick I've learned is that you should never add salt to mushrooms until they've already cooked down because they can be tough. But these are cooked down. Although, you know what? No, I'm not going to add this till after just in case. I will add this in a little bit. Okay. I have this big thing of salt here, but that's going in the water when I cook the artichokes. Can I touch this? I can't. Ooh, that's going to be ready to go. Well, I may not film that. Video, whatever. Uh-oh, excuse me. Sneeze. Okay, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I'm going to add the garlic and the tomato, and then I'll just let it simmer on low. And just so you know, this is a saucier. This pan is a 3-quart saucier from All-Clad. Like I've said before, I don't go out much. I don't do fancy stuff with my hair or my nails and all that. Nothing against that, but I just don't. I'd rather spend money on really good cookware. So that's just me. But I do find this is nice. This is especially nice for making gravy because nothing gets stuck in the corner. But it's also a perfect size and it's nice and thick. So nice thick bottom that spreads the heat evenly. So it's wonderful for sauteing when you're making a sauce in a small pan. Okay, I think I'm going to blast this a little bit. We're going to do this garlic just until it starts getting kind of like the 30-second thing. You know how they say until fragrant. So that should work. The trick is if they don't want it to get brown. I guess that can make it bitter. I'm not sure. I think that might be it. When I see tips, I follow them. When I learn tips. Okay, I think I'm gonna. Oh, that smells really good. Mushroom, onion, and garlic. Oh my God, and basil and all the other Italian stuff. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. I don't want to burn this garlic. So there's the tomatoes. And that's it. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Now we're just gonna. Oh, I love to cook. Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, now this is a pretty big chop. Usually I use Palm brand diced tomatoes or chopped tomatoes. The recipe calls for diced or chopped from Palm. I had strained from Palm, but I kind of wanted the chunks. So, maybe I should have used the Palm. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. So the recipe that I found on the internet, this very basic one where you just heat the olive oil, put in the garlic before it starts browning, throw in the tomato sauce, and then throw in the fresh basil. That recipe does call for either the 28-ounce can of diced or the Palm 26-ounce of chopped, and actually recommends the Palm, saying that Palm just always is good and it doesn't have that canned taste because it's in aseptic packaging, of course. But I find that if something still tastes kind of canned, a little sugar does help. So, okay, so this is like way different texture than I'm used to. These are really big dices, but you know what? This one, we're not eating for a while, so I'm going to let this cook down. And if I feel the need, I might add, I have another can of sauce I can add. No more tomatoes in my freezer from my farmers from last summer, but I'm going to mush this a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to let it sit and simmer until I'm going to eat it. And I'll probably do some final. Actually, let me see what it tastes like. Let's try. Let's try, shall we? Wow, this is not very. Okay, well that's all right. It's kind of like a fresh tomato sauce. It's got chunks. Let's see how fresh it tastes, though. Oh, it's a big piece of garlic. I don't want the big piece. Yeah. Well, I put a lot of garlic, so there's probably going to be garlics in every bite. Oh, that's good. You know what? This is going to be really good. Woo! A little spicy I just got a piece of the hot pepper. May have put a little too much of that in. Good thing my husband Steve doesn't mind spicy. I'm just going to let it sit covered. I don't need to cook down anymore. Now I'm going to add oops, I'm spilling it, so I might as well use it. I'll put it back. I'm going to use like that much smoked, a little more. A few pinches of this smoked garlic salt. The other night I had a jar of sauce, and we had it before, and it was like, So I doctored it up with the Penzi mix and this garlic, smoked garlic salt. It really was really good. So I think I'm gonna they do say if you salt something, it can take a few minutes for the saltiness to register. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna scrape down the sides. Put a cover on it. Put it on this low burner and just let it simmer until it's time to eat. So that's it. Okay, so here, let me see if you're going to be able to see my pot here. It's my Dutch oven, which has water at a kind of a low boil. Let's turn this down. And it's like 1.5 tablespoons of salt. The recipe calls for 4 artichokes, like 8 to 10 ounce artichokes. I don't know if they mean before or after they're trimmed. And 5 quarts of water. I use 4. Can you see me? Hello. So I use 4 quarts of water and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. That's coming to a boil again. I'm going to gently put these in. They said you don't have to weigh them down, that the part that needs to get cooked will be fine. So here, let me see if you can see this. You can. Okay. So, hello. So I'm just following Cooks Illustrated. I'm just going to put this cover on. And I'm going to probably check it in a little while to see, make sure it's not too high a boil. And then they said do it for like 55 minutes. So anyway, that's from Cooks Illustrated. And I'm going to end now. Say goodbye to my messy kitchen.